Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, the show that inspires, empowers, and educates you through life's transitions. Each week on the show, we talk about the art of intentional living, and I am super excited about today's show. This is the second new episode of the new season for 2022. I have an amazing woman that I'm bringing on the show. She's a badass confidence coach, and she is an awesome woman doing amazing things in the world. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is how you can change your life by changing the way you think, as well as many other things that we're going to be talking about. And her name is Marcolin, but I'll get to her in just a minute. Before I do that, I just wanted to say welcome back to those of you who've been here before, and welcome to those of you who are here for the first time. Where you can catch us is live every single Monday at 11:03 Pacific time. Yes, 11:03. That's an odd time, but that's when we start here. And we are on E360 TV network, as well as Facebook Live on my business page at I Have Today with Diane Forster. And when you tune in on Facebook Live, that is where I can see your comments and questions. So if you want to ask a question or leave a comment or say hello, that's where you need to go do it. And then after the show, you can always catch the replay again on E360 TV, on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and all the other streaming platforms that E360 TV is available on. Amazon, Roku, Apple, Amazon Fire, I don't even know, Android, a whole bunch of them. Anyway, that's where you can catch the replay. So before I get into the rest of today's show, I just want to remind you, in case you missed last week's episode, what I did for episode 1 of the new season is I chronicled my experience at the Dr. Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreat. It was a phenomenal, incredible experience that I was able to enjoy. And I talked about it from the inside, the inside behind the scenes secrets, although I didn't give anything away, Dr. Joe, so don't worry about it. But what my experience was like. And there were a lot of incredible nuggets that I took away from that experience. So if you want to check it out, check out that episode on E360 TV and obviously on YouTube and Facebook and all the other places. So check that out. And then, as we always do with this show, is each week we share an intention statement. And what is an intention statement? An intention statement is something that I share with you that you could use for the week and repeat it over and over so that it anchors in your subconscious mind and allows you to live that much more intentionally. So this week's intention statement is: I have today to change the way I think to improve my life. Because here's the deal. While we live in this great, big, beautiful, crazy world, the only world that matters is your world. And what you think in your life is what you bring into your life. So you could literally change anything about your life by the way you're thinking. And we're going to go deep on this today. So I wanted that to be our intention statement. And so I have today to change the way I think to improve my life. Now, the way I want you to use this throughout the week is on my Instagram page at Diane Forster Official. There's a little button that says wallpapers. And in there is a plethora of intention statements. So that one is there for you too. And the team makes the most beautiful graphics for this. So all you do is go to the wallpaper, save it as your screensaver. Then every time you look at your phone, which is 150 times a day on average, you're going to see it. And the more you see it, the more it's going to get anchored into your subconscious. So that is our intention statement for the week. All right. Now, I do want to share with you before we bring Anna on really quickly, I want to talk to you about a very powerful, magical manifestation moment. And this is a segment that I bring to you I bring magical manifestation stories to you, but I also want you to write in to us and share yours with us so that we could talk about your story on the show. So first, let me tell you the story that happened. And I did a TikTok video on this today as well. So at Diane Forster Official on TikTok, if you want to check it out. So here's the story. So if you're watching this show, there's a good chance that you're familiar with Abraham Hicks and who Abraham Hicks is. And if you're not, Google her, them. Abraham Hicks is Esther Hicks channels and, a collective entity, a group called, they call themselves Abraham, and it's collective consciousness and it's infinite intelligence. And it's the beings and the energy that communicates through her to relay messages to all of us. And so she's been doing this for over 30 years. But anyway, there's a story, and I've told this story before. It's such a powerful story, but it came up again. So the other day, I'm listening to Abraham, and Abraham tells a story that they have told 1,000 times before. I've heard it so many times about years ago when she was still coaching people. She was coaching a woman on the phone, and this woman basically wanted her fortune told. And Esther and Abraham said, we don't do that. We don't do fortune telling. And the woman was speaking about her frustrations. And so Abraham said to her, look, you have too much attention on the things that you want, that the energy is about lack. So why don't you focus on things that you don't have any energy or attention on for a little while and watch how fast they manifest into your life. So she said to the woman, why don't you focus on blue glass? And the woman said, why would I do that? And she said, well, just think about blue glass, how beautiful it is, the different colors, the different shapes, yada, yada, yada. And the woman wasn't having any of that. And so she said, well, why don't you think about butterflies and just think about how beautiful they are and how colorful and how free they are. And the woman wasn't having any of this either. So she finally said to her, all right, well, what about feathers? Just think about feathers. They're light, they're airy. And finally, the woman was frustrated and hung up on her. So anyway, Esther and her husband, Jerry, who was alive at the time, they decide that they go out to lunch. And they're in California, where I am, in San Diego. And they go to La Jolla, which is a place that they love. They're on their way to one of their favorite restaurants. And as they're walking to the restaurant, Esther pulls Jerry into a store and says, I just feel the need to go into this store. They walk into this shop, and on the back wall, ceiling to floor, wall to wall, is this big, beautiful wall of blue glass, all different colors, all different shapes, all different sizes, right? So they go have lunch. Then they leave and they want to go take a walk to the cove. So they're walking across the field in La Jolla, and they get swarmed by all these butterflies, like so many that she says they had to keep their mouths closed to keep from eating them. That's how many butterflies were there. She's still not making the connection. So as they continue their walk, all of a sudden, this little boy runs up to Esther and hands her a feather. And all of a sudden, it came through. She got it loud and clear. She said, oh my God. So in about 2 hours, she manifested the 3 things she was talking about, and she had absolutely no attachment to them. Okay. So now here I'm getting to the magical manifestation moment of this story. Now, I've played this game so many times. Every time I've played this game, pick 3 things I was unattached to, they showed up in my life, usually within an hour, definitely within a day. I am always pleasantly shocked and amazed that this happens. Now, here I am listening to this story on Friday. All right. So, and I am enjoying it and smiling, getting pleasure hearing a story I've heard over and over and over again. Right. So on Friday, I go to get a colonoscopy. Too much information probably for you, but I'm giving you the real deal. So I'm sitting in the prep room waiting to go in for my procedure. And on the cabinets in the prep room, all the way across the way, are butterflies, like there's butterflies everywhere. And I thought, if only I had my camera in my hand, but it's in my bag in the locker. Because so many of these things happen to me and I don't have I'm by myself and I don't have any proof of it, right? So I'm smiling ear to ear as I'm seeing all these butterflies. So I finish my procedure. My amazing friend Julia picks me up, and we're on our way to go get a bite to eat. And she starts telling me in the car on the way home from the restaurant about all of this blue crystal glass. Like, she started talking about blue crystal glass, and I'm thinking in my head, oh my God, this is this is so funny. And I don't want to tell her, even though I know she would get it, but I'm thinking in my head, all right, there's two of the three things, right? So the next morning is Saturday morning, and I get up and I go to the gym. I have a gym in my building, and I'm walking back from the gym, and on the rug in front of on the mat in front of my front door is a feather. A feather. This big feather was sitting there. So I have proof of it, right? So I just wanted to share with you how powerful manifestation is and how powerful your thoughts are, which is why we're going to be talking about how you can change your life by changing your thoughts. Because I wasn't even asking for these things. I didn't even say, wouldn't it be nice? I literally was enjoying the story and the visualization, and I raised my frequency. I had no attachment to them, and wham, all of them came into my life. So you're getting what you're thinking about, whether you want it or not. Always, always, always. We get what we want, what we're thinking about, whether we want it or not. And don't want is just as powerful as do want. That's why we have to change the way we think. So if you're not manifesting or experiencing as much of the love, joy, peace, happiness, success, all the things that you want in your life, I promise you it's because of the way you're thinking. So that's why I wanted to have Anna on today. She's a phenomenal expert with over 2 decades of experience in her space. It's going to be such a powerful interview. So before we get to her interview right now, before we do that, I want to share a word from our sponsor. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. All right, so here we go. Let us welcome to the stage Anna Marcolin. Come on up, Anna.
Hi. Hi,
Hey,
Diane.
how are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good, but I can't hear you. So I am going to,
let me see.
Nope, might be me, might be my end. Hang on 1 second. I have my headphones in and I'm going to take them out right now. And let me unplug my. There. My mic's on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you great.
Okay. Hi. Yay. Hi, Diane.
Hi, Anna. So nice to see you.
You too. You too. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. But before we get into the interview, I want to share a little bit about you with the audience. All right. Okay. So Anna Marcolin defines herself not only as a mother of 5, a wife, therapist, life coach, but rather a unique blend of all of the above. Anna uses this combination of life experience, dusted with a healthy dose of humor, to help people move forward in their lives. Anna's power comes from success in the world of triathlon. Can't wait to talk about this. A sport that's been a constant in her adult life. She's done hundreds of races. Through long hours and diligent focus, she's currently a medaled and sponsored triathlete. This aspect of her life has given Anna the unique insights into the problems of stress and self-doubt that many of us face in our highly pressured society. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Wow. I'm like uncomfortable hearing my bio being read. I wrote it a long time ago and I'm like, oh, you don't have to read all that.
Well, hey, there's a lot more there, everybody. I just want you to highlight some, key points. So that's so impressive. So, okay, so obviously the first thing I want to, you're a badass confidence coach, you're a psychotherapist, you've done you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a triathlete, you're all of these things. But what I want to talk about is, your work and what your background story is. What got you to be doing what you're doing and the way you're supporting people right now?
So I've always been interested in mental health since from a time I was very young. I was always like the counselor to all my friends in junior high and high school. My mother would get mad at me when I was on the phone talking forever to my girlfriends and boyfriends and say, get off the phone. You've got to do homework. You're too young to be everybody's therapist. And so I really think that I was born for this. I think that it's truly, I didn't choose it. It chose me, or God or the universe said, this is what you're going to be doing. This is your purpose on this earth. So I've always been interested. My graduate degree is in clinical social work and psychology. And I really enjoy, there's no other way to say it. I really enjoy listening to people's problems and helping them come up with an answer and helping them get to a better place in their life, to feel better, to help them take action. Because I know for not everybody, but I know for many people what it will take for them to get to a better place in their life. So yeah, it's just something I'm passionate about. So.
Yeah. Well, I've of course, follow you and checked you out. That's why I wanted to have you on the show. Yeah, you have this very beautiful way of communicating, and I feel your heart in, in the way you communicate. So that was very, very evident. So your clients must be truly appreciative of the work that you do. Yeah. So tell me, well, I want to talk about the triathlete in a minute.
Right.
But so who is your ideal client? Who mostly comes to you in the first place?
I mostly at this point see women, individual women, for therapy and coaching. I do always have a smattering of males, men. But it really over the years has become more a practice of working with women. And so that's my ideal client. And it can be anywhere from on the clinical, the mental health side, where I'm helping them with a mood disorder or an anxiety disorder or an eating disorder, which is a former specialty of mine. Just what I was trained in 25 years ago. So I still do that. And the coaching side is moms and entrepreneurs and women in total overwhelm, whether it be running their own business and also having a home and a partner and children. And so it's women, and it's women trying to juggle all these balls and not letting one fall and being like, I can't. And I'm like, no, you can. Let's do this together. You can get, it's really the overwhelm is what I've been seeing, I think, more in the past couple of years, over and over again, of I had goals. I don't know what my goals are anymore. And I can't get it all done. And I'm going crazy, and they're not sleeping, and they're not having sex, and they're yelling at their kids. And that's a lot of what I'm seeing on the coaching and the mental health side, which is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. And, who better to, I'm a mom of twins, but my twins are 24 and they're adults now, and they are independent and totally launched. Yeah. So, but I do remember those years, I was working at ABC. I was creating my side hustle. I was, going through, obviously taking care of 2 kids at the same time, and you have 5.
I know. Yeah.
And also then went through a divorce and all of those things. And I know that feeling, and I know what these women are going through, being in overwhelm. Like there's just not enough hours in the day. And the thing is, this is what I find. And then we're going to talk about the, changing the way we think. But, we in general, for the most part, I don't ever want to just make a blanket statement, but in general, for the most part, women, because we are nurturers, we put the needs of everybody else in front of
Right.
us. And there's literally no gas in the tank for us.
Right.
Our energy is so depleted. And then the weakened, state that we're in emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, only continues to spiral even further down because we don't have the energy to get out. We don't know
Right.
how to get us out of this hole and this spiral. And then we can't even think clearly about, well, what do I even want anyway?
Yes.
What makes me happy? I feel like I have to do all these things.
Right.
So I'm so grateful that you do the work that you do. And so if there's a woman listening, which I'm sure there's plenty,
Yeah.
who are in this state, what is the first thing that you would tell her that she needs to do?
The first thing I would tell all women to do is do a 3-day audit. Take a look at your life, and I want you to write down everything you do in 3 days. And a lot of people look at me and go, "Oh my gosh, you kidding me, Anna? I don't want to do that." And I have them do that, and it is a very eye-opening experience because, to your point, Diane, we're giving, 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 and then we have downtime. What I'm finding is that, and my clients are realizing, is that, oh, I spent like 2 hours doom scrolling on Instagram, or I spent like an hour like in a Facebook group chit chatting. Well, that's not really self-care. I mean, that's just kind of, we all need that time to be able to, like, that white space in our life where we can just do whatever we want. If we want to watch our Netflix shows, whatever we want. But we're spending a lot of time doing that. And there's not enough time in there for real self-care, which might be going for a long walk. It might be meditation. We're not doing enough to rejuvenate ourselves so that we have the energy to give back, not only to our partners and our children, but to ourselves. So if we can give to ourselves and we have the energy, and I know I'm preaching to the choir with you, you can put it out there and you can give to others. How can we work in our businesses when we're so exhausted and we feel depleted all the time? So yes, the self-care is so important, and finding what works for you. It's different for everyone, but that 3-day audit, I think that's where you got to start. You've got to look at how you're spending your time. Yeah.
That's great advice, especially because we are so unaware.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Yes. And, listen, and yes, you are preaching to the choir because we're in the same
Yes.
space. I
Yes.
totally get what you're doing. And I understand it. And oh my God, I'm so passionate about the need for helping women too.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this or not, but the number one age group for suicide attempts are women between the ages of 45 and 64. It's not teens. And now men are more successful at it because women have that guilt,
Yes.
all of that
Yes.
shame that would come, what would life be like if I actually did this? But they attempt it and they're thinking about it. What's so sad about that is that they think that that is the way out. And that was my story, by the way. 10 years ago, a suicide attempt turned my whole life around. But what I think is so important is that there's so many things that these women are doing on a day-to-day basis that, number one, don't bring value to their lives. And number two, do they really need to be doing? And I'm even talking about the tasks. I'm not even talking scrolling on social. The activities that you're doing are like low frequency activities.
There you go. There you go. Yes.
Do you need to be doing laundry every day? Do you need to be doing all the things that you're saying yes to when deep down you want to say no? How much, and I love the audit, because the audit is a great way to look at it and go, oh, no, 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 no. I'm not doing this anymore. This has no long-term or residual value to my goals, dreams, and desires about what I want to do in my life. So
what I find interesting too, Diane, is that my clients will often, I'll be met with resistance that I don't want to do that audit, because what I find is that Oh, that I have to look at myself. And I was here too. So I was this way at one time as well. And it's like, la, 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 like see no evil, hear no evil, like, la, la, I just want to keep my blinders on. Don't make me look at what I'm doing every day. I kind of like doing laundry every day. Okay. And so it's like, there's something to the distraction that my clients like, really, you want me to do that? I don't really want to do it. What are you afraid to look at is the question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And as someone who ignored, who to the outside world looked like I had the have it all life, I did the packaging of my life look so good. And I was literally dying every day.
Yeah.
And you just cannot go on like that indefinitely. And I love this quote by Louise Hay, the late great Louise Hay, the founder of Hay House. She said, if you want to clean the house, you got to look at the dirt. And that's a metaphor for yourself, because you and I know this. It's not outside of us.
Right.
It's not. It's all right here. And unless and until you look at it, it can't change. It just can't change. It won't change. You can wish and hope, but yeah. So let's talk about the thinking part about changing our lives. So of course, yes, if we change our thoughts, we will change our lives. But I want you to elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah. So the way that I work is from a cognitive behavioral approach, which I was trained in, 25, 30 years ago. And, we have thinking patterns that get etched in, and we all do it. It's the way we were raised. It's what we heard growing up, many of us. And the way we think that we're not even conscious of is just how we roll in life, where let's say one could be like, I'll never be able to do that. You see somebody who's doing something that you think is so great, and I would say, I'll never be able to do that. Well, that's an etched in, is how I think of it, like the tire tracks in the mud that have dried up. They're thick, they're in there, they're etched in. And that's just how I think. Unless something or someone comes along to challenge me on that, I'm going to continue to think in that vein. That's a thinking pattern that is become kind of like egocentric. It's a part of who I am as a person. And so what I do with clients, and what many of us therapists and life coaches do, is we challenge that. We challenge our clients in the way they think, and we ask them to consider a new way of thinking. And many of them are interested in doing it, but going, how am I going to be able to do this? I don't know how to do it. So that's where I bring in, okay, we're going to look at thought distortions. What are thought distortions? Okay, we're going to look at what's mind reading, what's filtering, using should statements. Those are thought distortions. We start there. And then I teach clients about how to reframe their thoughts. Take a situation, let's write it out the way it happened, the way you think about it. And now we're going to look for the evidence. And 90 to 95% of the time, there's no evidence for the way that person thinks. And I say, okay, you can't have that. We're going to flip the script. We're going to give it a new story. And they go, what? But it works. There's resistance. And what happens is they find that it works. They're like, oh my God, this is like a whole new way of seeing, situations in my life, and a whole new way of thinking. So that's a lot of what I do with all of my clients, is really just, kind of like taking like your bike and just going over those old tracks, like on a rainy, muddy day. And like we're going to develop new thought patterns now over the old ones.
Yeah. I love it. I love it too. And I do a lot of the similar work, because I know, I get it. And I hear, oh my gosh, I can tell within the first 2 or 3 sentences where somebody's stuck just by the way they're communicating. So I shared this story many times, and I do a lot of reframing and, word replacement and all that stuff too. But I just want to share with the audience. I know you're going to get it, because I know your clients are doing this too. I got on the train one day. Oh, and by the way, I lived in Chicago for 24 years.
Oh, you did?
Yes. So,
okay.
Yeah. So fist bumps.
It's a balmy 30 today.
Oh yeah. Well, here, I'm giving you sunshine from San Diego.
Thank you.
But I got on the train. I was living in the suburbs at the time, and I got on the train, an express train, to go downtown to work in the city. And this girlfriend that I hadn't seen in a long time got on the train with me, and we sat next to each other. And I'm not kidding, Anna. I counted in my head because it stood out like a sore thumb. She said the word worry 45 times in the 40-minute express ride. And I thought, oh my God, this woman is worrying every minute of the day. There's so little self-awareness about the way we're thinking, about the way we're feeling, about the way we're speaking. So I'm so glad that you're doing this. And I'm so grateful that your clients are seeing it.
Yeah.
Because when you change the way you think, everything in your life changes.
Yes.
Certainly did for me. Certainly did for me.
And the only reason why I think differently is because I had to learn this therapy 25 years ago when I had to run a cognitive therapy group. I worked in inpatient psych, and I had to learn this therapy very quickly because I had to run these groups. And I found that, oh my gosh, like with thought distortion, like I do that, I do that, I do that. I'm a big mind reader. I was a big mind reader. I thought I knew what everyone thought about me. And I also thought in the black and white. I thought there's no gray in life. It's either black or it's white. I had very rigid thinking patterns. And when I learned the therapy, so all of you who are watching this and listening, you're not alone. The only reason, I always say to my clients, the only difference between me and you is that I've learned it and you're going to learn it. And now we're going to be the same again. I mean, you just need to learn this. If you don't know what you don't know, you know, and you've learned it as well. So we know differently, but and even now today, sometimes I have to, if I get upset about something and I'm watching my thoughts, I have to really go back and go, okay, what's going on? Why are you thinking that way? Do the deep dive, Anna. Where's that coming from? Is there a distortion in here? Okay, reframe the thought because there's no evidence for it. So it's work. It's a practice, like a yoga practice. It's a practice, right?
100%. And we, as experts, leaders, teachers of this, are still the students of it all the time. We're constantly being shown it again, shown it again, shown it again. And it's not that it won't happen to us and to the audience out there viewing and listening. It's not that these things won't come up for you. They're always going to. It's how long, how quickly can you catch it, course correct it, reframe it, and not beat yourself up about it. Just be kind to yourself, be forgiving to yourself when it does. And it's interesting because the greater the jump in ascension and learning, like when you're up leveling to the next level, whether it's a small jump or a big jump, I find the bigger the jump, the messier it is. Right then. Like the disruption and the dismantling. It's like, oh my God, I thought I was done with all this. I thought I did all of this stuff. And it's there to show you, just giving you, it's like the universe giving you that little bit of a test, like, you ready? Because you're going to go to the next level. And it's about being okay with where you are today, right now. Right.
Yes.
So true.
Well said. Well said.
Yeah. So what would you say is your, like, your why and your, the legacy that you want to live and lead in your life?
Yeah. I mean, that's a really good question. I've been thinking about legacy a lot lately, and with my children and the people and my family members and my clients who I love, I consider them to be almost my family as well. My legacy, what I would want is, the biggest compliment I get is when clients tell me that, about a conversation they had with a family member, maybe a spouse, a sibling, maybe their parent. And the family member says, well, what did Anna say? What did Anna say to you? What does Anna think? And that is, in some ways, and I don't mean it in an egotistical way, but that's my legacy, that I know that I've been able to put out there the gifts that I have been given, and to pour into others and to be of service to others. And so if there would be a legacy, and I think about, so I will tell you, I'm 53. My father died a year and a half ago, and it really hit me because I'd never had anybody really close, never really close to me pass. And being at his funeral, and the people who came to his funeral and talking about what he had done for them. And I thought, that's what I want. I don't care as much, of course, about the things in life, but at the end of the day, when all is said and done, of course, I believe in heaven. I would love to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant, by the man upstairs or the woman upstairs. But my legacy, I want people to say, she helped me when I was down. She was there for me.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, you're doing it. That's really powerful. And doesn't that feel so good? And again, I know it's not ego. I know for you, for me, for anyone who's in a service-based and in servitude of others, that's truly um, the greatest gift, the
Right.
greatest abundance that we can receive is that response
Right.
from somebody else, that we help somebody and they're grateful that we were able to do that for them.
Right.
So, I mean, it's the most rewarding thing in the world. So, well, I'm glad that you're
Absolutely.
living it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Every day. Yes.
yeah, and showing
Yeah.
gratitude and appreciation
Yeah.
for it. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So, all right, let's talk about the triathlete and how that
Yeah.
came to be and how that plays a role in self-confidence and
Oh
everything
my
that you
gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So I started doing triathlons. I started out running marathons, 10Ks, and then made it up to marathon and did very well at the marathon, the 26.2 mile distance, but was plagued with injuries. I was in my early 30s, plagued with injuries, always in physical therapy. I'd have points where I wasn't even able to run. I'd have to swim in a pool, and it just was so much rehab. And I discovered triathlon, and I knew there were people at my gym who were doing triathlons. I hadn't swam. I swam in swim team when I was a child, but I hadn't swam in a pool, swam since I was probably 12. And so I thought, well, I can ride a bike and I can run, but I haven't been in a pool since I was 12, and now I'm 31 years old. How am I going to do this? So I found this new gym where there were triathletes there, and through that was able to get into swimming, and then found a bike and was able to bike with them. And I just loved it and found myself to be challenged by this endurance sport. So I'm in my 19th year this year. And finally, after however 12 years, uh, paid for a coach because I thought I could self coach all these years. And I was becoming more and more serious about it. And I got tired of always being third, fourth, fifth, sixth, not third, that's on the podium, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. And I thought I had potential. I thought I could do better. And so I hired a coach. And that was when I ended up getting on the podium first, second, and third in my age group. So I have to say that coaching really makes a huge difference in so many areas in our lives. And once again, in athletics, having a coach made a huge difference. But that has taught me all about get comfortable being uncomfortable. It has taught me all about grit. It's taught me about resilience. I have learned about tenacity and perseverance, not just in myself. That all came out. I knew, and my coach told me, if you want to be competitive, you must do the work. I mean, it's 6 days a week, it's 2 workouts a day. And it was like, do you want to do it? What's your commitment level? And it really made me ask myself, what is my why? Why do you want to do this? So I'd always been competitive. I've always been an athlete as a child, but it was more in team sports. And I wanted to try this new arena out. I wanted to kind of be in the arena, and I wanted to throw my name in the hat. So, but it's taught me so much about anxiety and how to deal with anxiety, because I had this plaguing of performance anxiety. Same as, like, you're about to get on stage, and so you're speaking and you're just so nervous. It's akin to that. So I had to figure out ways of dealing with my anxiety, and I learned a lot about it being ugly, having audacious goals, but they're ugly goals and they're messy and it's not linear. You're all over the place. You feel like you're moving forward, and then you're like, wait 10 steps back, and you're like, wait, I spent 2 years trying to get here. How I should be there by now, and I'm still back there. And then you get hurt again. I've learned so much. For me, it's a metaphor of life. Whether you be an entrepreneur, whether you be in a 9-to-5 job, whether you be raising children, or you're really working on that relationship, that marriage, it has been a metaphor for working hard and how to do it. Because there are days I don't feel like getting up at 6 a.m. and going to the pool. I don't feel like going for a run. I don't feel like eating well. I don't feel like eating. You have to eat a lot of calories. I don't feel like it. I don't want to. and I want to eat a lot of pizza and fries, and you really can't eat that stuff if you want to do well. And it's doing the opposite of what you feel like doing. So it has taught me, it has informed me, I would say almost just as much as a therapist and life coach, being an athlete, as much of the schooling that I have had. I don't talk the talk, I walk the walk. So it's been huge.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about it. You can tell.
There's so much in there about everything and how it relates to life. And it's so true. And honestly, isn't the greatest reward because you put in all the work?
Yeah.
You've done it. When you do it when you don't feel like doing it, who wants to do it, really? You have to really have that and find that. You have to find that every single day.
Yes.
Which is a testament to coaching, which is why coaching is an $18 billion industry, which is why there are all the types of coaches that there are. I had a coach tell me, Anthony Hopkins, multiple Academy Award winning actor, has a minimum of 7 coaches on every film. 7.
And Oprah does too. I mean, she's got like 5 coaches. There's a reason for it. There's a reason.
There is. And
I have 3 coaches right now. I have 3 right now. Yeah, exactly.
Because I know
Right.
you can't see your blind spots, and
there you go.
You don't get that shove to get, it's like I got your hand on my shoulder. I got my hand on your shoulder, but I also got my other hand on your back.
Yes.
Push you over that line, because if I don't help you do it, you'll find all the reasons and excuses not to do it. So,
I mean, my triathlon coach, I don't complain a whole lot, but there are times I've said to her, I don't feel like doing it. I have said that. And she says, get it done. That's all 3 words, get it done. She doesn't want to hear it. I'm like, okay, I'll get it. And it pushes me. And I'm like, all right, I'll get it done. She's like, there's excuses and there's reasons. And 99% of you are giving me excuses. You don't have a reason. Your kid throwing up all night, you're exhausted. That's a reason. But most of you are giving me excuses. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's kind of right. And that's the same thing. I have to see that you see with clients. I see it with clients too. And I'm like, just come on. I'm here beside you, but go. You got this. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to somebody who's watching right now, Cynthia Toet. Cynthia went through my TV Star Maker Challenge, and then she went through my Star Academy, Launch Your Own TV Show in 30 days, and graduated, and she's certified in the STAR method. And she's here in the audience today. And this is a testament to a woman who took the coaching, and she has the persistence and the tenacity and perseverance. So I wanted to give you applause.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Girl.
Yeah, to you too.
She's doing her show consistently. She's showing up, maybe when she doesn't want to, and her fans and followers are growing. They're so appreciative of it. And so that's a testament to it, and something I'm super proud of, that she's here supporting me, and that, she took all the coaching and guidance to do that. And so that's for everyone out there who's listening. For those of you who have those excuses, like, I don't feel like it, I don't want to, you know what? All you have is today. This is I have today, because guess what? All you have. So if you don't do this today, what's going to make it easier for you tomorrow?
Right.
You have to push yourself to it. And you've got to change those thought patterns. You've got to change the way you're thinking, because the way you're thinking, and again, work with Anna, work with a coach, work with a therapist, find somebody who's doing this work, who can help you, because you need to get out of your own way. And the way you do that is you've got to shift your mind and shift the way you're thinking, because the habits are ingrained and they're anchored in there.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Anna, I have to ask you a question. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. It's the best Monday I've spent, Diane Forster, as a TV host. Oh, money.
That's
best
sweet.
Money you spend. Oh, thank you.
Yes, I love that. That's great.
I might need you to do a little video testimonial. No, but Anna, how do you live the I Have Today way, which is intentionally in the present moment? What does that look like for you?
I love this question, and I wake up every day and I say in terms really like your show is I have today, to be grateful for all that I have been given. To be
Mhm.
grateful for all that I have been given. So when I am grateful and I come from an attitude of gratitude, it permeates every aspect of my day. So I may not be excited about the crazy day I'm going to have, the long hours. I might not be crazy, excited about all the different parts of my day. And that attitude of gratitude makes me just, Anna, it's here for you. It's here for you. You get to do this. You get to be with Diane right now. You get to be in a podcast. You get to have these wonderful conversations with podcast guests or your clients or my husband or the kids. You're here today and you're alive. So it really, for me, it comes from a place of just total gratitude that I'm alive today.
It's beautiful. And that's why your life looks the way it does, is because you live in that space of gratitude. And yes,
Yeah.
you get to. You don't
Right.
have to, you get to.
Right.
Uh, I love that so much. So how can the viewers learn more about you?
You can check me out at annamarcolin.com. You can find me on Instagram, badass_confidence_coach. LinkedIn, Anna Marcolin, LCSW. I'm everywhere. Anna Marcolin Coaching and Counseling on Facebook. So I'm on all the different handles. You can find me. So yeah.
We've got them all there on
Yeah.
banners. So anybody who wants to learn more about you, and I'm sorry, it's Marcolin. I was saying Lynn.
Marcolin. Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there any final parting words that you want to share with the audience, and especially related about, changing your life by changing the way you're thinking?
Yeah, what I would say to anybody out there who might be struggling is to find someone to help you. I mean, I don't know where that quote came from, but I use it all the time. If you're in a low period or you're just in a period, you're in a funk, look for the helpers. There are people out there like Diane. Look for them. They will help you. You're not alone. And I think that especially in this 2022, there's still quite a bit of people feeling isolated and alone with COVID. Look for the helpers. There are people out there who will help you, and look for that person who, like Diane said, will put their hand on your shoulder and the other hand on your back and push you forward to get you to where you need to be. So, my final parting words are: you're not alone. Look for the helpers. And if you need help, if you're in a funk, get the coaching, get the therapy. You really have an opportunity to up level your life.
No greater investment than you.
Yeah.
No greater
Right.
investment.
Right.
That is so beautiful, Anna. Thank you so much. And can I ask where in the Chicago area you are? You can just give a region or an
I'm
area.
up north in the North Shore near Highland Park area.
Okay, I was in the northwest suburbs. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's cold. I'm waiting for March. Well, you could have snow in May here, so I'm just waiting for it to be like 40.
Yes.
Yes.
That always feels so good after 30s and below, right?
Right? Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It was
No
truly
problem.
a privilege.
Yes,
And
thank you for having me.
forward to staying connected with
Yes,
you and being on this journey with you. Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
No problem. Thank you so much, Diane.
My
Be
pleasure.
well. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. Oh, she's so lovely. Isn't she just amazing? I just love her energy and I love what she's doing. So make sure you follow her, especially if you're a mom and overwhelmed and you're juggling and you got all the balls in the air, work with her. She's incredible. So, all right. So before we get on to our mantra meditation, which we always do at the end of each show, which is customized around what our topic was today, I want to share this important message with you. So take a look right now. Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and I want to thank you so much for watching I Have Today. And I'd like to extend an invitation to you to buy my brand new international best-selling book called A Better Today, which is a fun, inspirational, motivational 30-day challenge where each day for 30 days, you get one little thing that you need to do to change your life and improve your life. And so part of the reason why some people struggle to make changes in their life is because they try to do too many things at once. How real, lasting, positive, permanent change happens is through micro bites, micro actions. They create the macro results. So it's available at Amazon. I invite you to pick up a copy there. And for a limited time, I'm offering you a special opportunity. When you buy the book, I am going to give you 4 of my courses for free, absolutely for free. And that's at abettertodaybook.com, abettertodaybook.com. So check it out and start improving your life and making each day of your life better and better, starting today. Thanks. Hey there, don't miss out on your chance to get this amazing special. And the book's an international bestseller. And just like Anna was saying, you know, it's all about the persistence and the tenacity and how much better do you want your life to be? And so today we were talking about how to change your life by changing the way you're thinking. So also, I want you to subscribe to my newsletter. We're putting out a weekly newsletter now, and you can find that at dianeforster.com. At the end of the show, stay till the end because we've got the credits and we have all the information on how to follow me and then how to send in your magical manifestation moment stories to us. We didn't do it this week, but we do a Mentor Me Minute segment. And if you want questions answered live on air, you can put those in there. And then also, your intention statements are also welcome. So we accept your videos. We're putting a compilation video together for you on living the I Have Today way. So if you want to send us a video, make sure you do it in portrait style. I'm sorry, landscape style, not portrait. A 20-second or less video of you saying what you have today for. I have today too, and then make it 20 seconds or less. There's a place for you to send those into us, and you can be part of the I Have Today movement. So all that information is in the closing credits for you. All right. So now let's get ready to do our mantra meditation. And I do end every show like this because I want you to really take what we did today and leave this show feeling better at the end of it than you did at the beginning of it. You spent this time with us. Let's make it count. Let's make it matter. And so this is super simple. All you have to do is sit there and close your eyes, follow my lead and follow my direction. Obviously, you cannot do this if you are driving. You can listen, but don't close your eyes. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do this quickly with you. We're going to breathe in for the count of 4 seconds. We're going to hold it for 8. And I want you to think about lighting up all your 8 chakras, your root, your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart, your throat, your third eye, your crown, and your soul star, which is above your head, which is the opening to the portal. All the information and intelligence from the universe comes in there. And then I want you to blow it out for 8 seconds like you're blowing out birthday candles, like get the deflated feeling. It's going to feel really good. Because we're limited on time today, we're only going to do 2 breaths today, but normally we would do 4. Don't worry, it'll still feel really, really good. All right, so close your eyes, feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your lap. You can either face them down if you feel grounded or turn them up to get more energy, receive more energy. And here we go. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 8 and light up those chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now blow it out for 8. Do it again. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And blow it out for 8. Listen to the words. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small, I notice them all. Yes, 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 thank you. I have today to change my life by changing the way I think. I am not a victim of my past or the limiting beliefs or the thoughts that hold me back. Overwhelm is just a word. It's not who I am. It's not. I can let go of the feeling of like there's way, way, way too much for me to do and not enough time for me to do it. I can let go of the thoughts that make me feel like there isn't enough time in the day. How can I get all this done? What's wrong with me? How come other people can do it and I can't? Or any of those crazy untruths that I sometimes tell myself. But I know it's not my fault. It's not. It's just habits, paradigms, limiting beliefs that I inherited throughout my life. They're simply thoughts. They're not real. They're not true. And they're not even happening to me anymore. They're in my past. I know I can change the way I think to feel more positive, more inspired, more empowered, more confident. And I can start today because today is all I have. This is my jumping off point. This is my starting point. And all I need to do is micro changes, create the awareness, get help, find the helpers, like Anna said. Find the support that's out there because I don't have to do this alone and I don't want to. I feel inspired today to be surrounded by people who've done what I want to do, who've been where I've been, who can pave the path for me and make it easier. I have today to love myself, love my life, and change my life by changing the way I think. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to thank you all for being here today. I want to thank my guest, Anna Marcolin, for her amazing contributions to the show, all of you who showed up here. And for those of you that'll catch the replay, thank you so much. Stay till the end, catch the closing credits, and I will see you next time here on I Have Today. Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.